Welcome to another tutorial I'm going to be making here. This time I'm going to be making a field. That way you can kind of separate like a farm field from just a regular field. There's several techniques to use when you're doing this. First thing I did was I pretty much mapped out a very large area with some patches, and then I went through and I locked the vertices on the outer edges and a path through the center. If I press my V key, you'll notice the red vertices and then your pink and green ones. The simple technique to making these work is select your patches and then you click your lock button and you go around your edges and you just highlight the edges and then highlight some center portion and then click unlock. And then what you do is you go back and you can manipulate the vertices inside these fields. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side just like I did the other side. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to unshow my vertices, and I can already see where the flat portion is, where the vertices cannot be changed. So if I press my Y key, I'm going to bring up my paint height, and I'm going to uncheck allow soft selections, and probably going to make a radius a little smaller so I can work with it a little easier and less graphics and less size of a movie. So I'm going to press my left Alt key down, and on my right mouse button I'm just going to kind of tap it along, and I'll see where my center road was, where those red vertices were. See, they're not changing because those are locked vertices. They won't move. So I can go over this all day long and they're still not going to move. So how do you get a field out of this? Well, it's pretty simple. You just kind of go around your edges. Just kind of lower it down a little bit. And you'll see where your edges are at. Don't freak out if you kind of goof it up, because you can only mess up what's selected. You could always hit the undo, Control Z. I'm just going to kind of go around and hopefully not get lost, because it's a little glitchy when you do this. As you can see, my outer edges are still staying locked. See how they're dropping down? Now I have the wireframe on, so it's a little less graphic intense, so it moves a little easier. I'll finish going around. Once you get it kind of the height you want it, or the depth you want it, you have a couple options on this panel here in your advanced patch editing options. We're going to smooth is our next option we're going to be doing, and we're going to start with our lowest point first. Left alternate button, hold that down and right click. It should just kind of pull the flatness along. It'll smooth it to the lowest point and it'll drag it along. It's not a flatten. If you flatten it, I think it brings it back up to 0. Just kind of work your way around like this. What this does, it kind of gives the impression of there's an actual field here because it's divided by like a center road. And little bumps and curves here. We'll take that out. As you can see, it's kind of smoothing along. Just like so. Smooth that along. And then we're pretty much done with that. If you wanted to make it look like there's an actual hills involved, like an actual farm field. Right now I'm above the center road. You can see it highlighted. Actually lifted, sorry. You can just kind of left mouse button and right click to raise it up as you come down. It'll just kind of lift up a long patch just like that.